What's up, guys? Welcome to your 96th Android tutorial for the new Boston. And what we're going to do in this tutorial, sorry by the way for ending that last tutorial abruptly, but it was taking too much time, so I just clipped it kind of where I thought it should be clipped. But what we did in the last tutorial, we basically set up a shared preference type variable or instance of a class. And all we did is we say, we kind of do the initialization where we say get shared preferences from file name, which is our string called my shared preferences. We could have also done, just like my shared preferences here in quotations or something like that, and it would have worked. But what we did is we set up a static variable that won't change, so we're just going to use that. And you'll see that in a lot of examples when you work with data or just examples in general. So what we did is, again, we set up this variable to get the shared preferences of this file name and kind of the default setting, which was 0. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use an editor to kind of edit the information and then save it as well. So we're going to again do that within our save button that we created. And first thing that we have to do is we have to access the editor. So the editor is from the shared preferences class. So we're going to go shared preferences dot, and then you can see some of the things that the shared preferences class has. One of them is an editor, and then we can set up our variable called editor or something like that. This would be the same as just saying, like, let's see here, if we just deleted this and we say import, but since we could import the editor as well, but since we already imported our shared preference class, we can just reference that and then hit dot editor, and it's going to be the same type of thing. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use this editor to get the settings for the most part from our shared preference variable that we set up in the last tutorial. So we're going to say some data, which again is our shared preferences, and we're going to say dot, and then we're going to say edit. So we're basically editing our shared preference variable, and then we're going to save it. So that's basically going to allow us to edit this variable, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say our editor, and then we say dot, and we can use the put methods like put boolean, put int, float, long, but we're saving a string. So we're going to say put string, and within its arguments it's going to take a value or a key and then our value. So our key, we can set this up to equal whatever we want that we're going to reference later. So we're going to say something like our string or shared string, something like that. And then we can reference this later because again this is the key, and the actual value is going to be from our edit text that we set up again in our last tutorial. That's basically going to convert whatever our edit text is into a string, and that's what we're actually going to save. So we're going to save our string called string data. So again, basically this is the way that you use shared preferences is it's a key and a value system where we set up a key reference and then we apply a value to that key reference, and then we can kind of use the editor to change things and then save it again. And again, the purpose of the shared preference class is just to save like these type of values, strings, booleans, anything that you'd probably consider as a preference, like our on and off check that we used earlier in the series for the music. So it's kind of just to save a certain value, and for this example we're saving a string. So we're going to put our string in, and then what we need to do is we just need to say our editor, and we just need to finalize it basically. So we're going to say editor.commit, and that's basically going to say, hey, we've changed everything that we need to, and just commit to that and we're good to go. So basically what we've done is we've referenced our string preference. I shouldn't highlight that, but a variable which was a string preference called some data, and every time we hit save it's going to create a string for us. It's going from the edit text, it's going to convert it to text, and it's going to get the text and it's going to convert it to a string, and then we use this editor variable to reference our shared preference, and then we're going to say, hey, we want to edit something within there, and then we're going to use that editor variable that we set up here to put in a string, and we label this string shared string, and we labeled the actual value of that shared string as, again, our edit text or whatever was within our edit text. And then we're going to say, yeah, we've made the changes we want to, commit to that and make it happen. So that's basically this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're going to show you how to load that data that we put in there. So as for now, we're just saving the data. So hopefully that made some sense. I know in the last tutorial it kind of ended abruptly and didn't explain too much, but hopefully that made some sense. And I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial. Have a good one.